But it has something hypnotic when it
Cool.
circles around here. You're getting sick. That's nice.
It's cool.
I'm gonna go live on the website as well.
It's already live, Justin.
Oh, I see. Hear that, Thomas?
No, it's
We
actually
got
a normal
another
sized
audio
dinosaur.
issue over here.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris, is that your
Can't
dinosaur?
hear Andy either.
Thomas.
No.
Sorry?
Uh-oh.
Is it your dinosaur over there?
No. That's Jesse's dinosaur. I just
Maybe-
had the cannon.
Maybe
That was a
try
little bit too big.
rebooting the app.
Oh, that was yours. What was that?
Naval cannon.
Nice. Did you like export it from Blender with like a wrong scale or something?
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, I
This
didn't
is not
check the
good.
scaling. I just checked that, and maybe it's an idea to have something like a volume that definitely
Right.
shrinks the model down when you import it. Like you never
Bounding
go
box, yeah,
to something
just for
like
safekeeping.
that. Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, scaling when exporting is an eternal problem, right? So
Always for such a long time. I mean, on my app, that was the first problem I had to handle. People were just taking stuff from Sketchfab and
Let's see if it
whatever,
works now.
and they had
Yeah.
gigantic squids
Working
and
now?
whatever kind of stuff.
Ah,
right?
there it is.
Hear me now?
So I had to
Yes.
implement a
Cool.
method that allows them to
Did the,
scale
was
because
it
it's
just a
AR
quit of the
to
app
scale
and
things
restart
in
that
real world
fixed it?
scale size.
Yeah.
And
Right.
most apps don't
I
have
believe
that
so.
at all. You cannot type
I
in
don't know
do
what
this
was
in
going
this
on with
room
that.
in
Somebody
2
else
meters
just
by
had
2
that
meters.
issue a second ago too. I
Right,
don't know.
right,
We
right.
haven't experienced
so do you
that
have to
one
first
yet.
define the bounding box, or is it like a thing where you can adjust things?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Always finding new
I had a
bugs.
whole method in the end that was growing and growing, but there's no other way. You
What,
have to
uh,
examine what kind of
yeah, go
model it
ahead.
is, how big it is, and
Was
then
that lunch
put it into
thing
the right.
beginning?
So
volume
they,
in the end.
Max
Yeah.
actually
I saw
just
with
messaged
so
us
many
that
other
she is
AR
sick,
apps
so
that were able to
Oh,
import.
he's not
They
going to
just
start hers,
used,
so we're gonna
standard,
just hang out here,
let's
and
call
then the
it,
actual event will start round one. So
fictional
you're
numbers.
welcome to
Like
pop out and come back
the model
if you
was
want, but
111,
I think
but you didn't know
what he's gonna
what is
speak
111.
out.
Is it 1 meter by 1 meter or 1 centimeter? Or what
Yeah,
How's it
so
going,
I'm
Andy?
actually
One
feeling
unit, you
sick
know?
too.
Oh,
Everyone's
no.
Got a
gotten
cough.
sick this
Don't
week.
know
Like,
when you can
so
put
many
something
people
on.
that
Oh,
usually come are like, "Oh my gosh, I'm getting
Yeah.
sick. It's not good."
Yeah,
How
no.
does it scales in the
I wonder
end?
how
Um,
many are
So weird.
Delta.
Are there no standards
Related.
for
I know,
not only
right?
for scales but also for axes? that
Okay,
actually
RJ,
do
give it a
stuff?
shot.
Because,
Try
like,
to say something.
anytime you go from one thing to another,
What
hey,
the
Oh
heck?
no! What?
um,
This just happened to Andy too,
Yeah,
but a
it's-
quit and
it's-
restart seemed to
but
fix
anyway,
it.
looked like a full nice can, like big
Did
can.
you restart your app or
Um,
your device,
Like,
Andy?
that's
Just the app.
the first thing, so.
It's a good
And,
impression. you
it
get
seemed to
when
fix it.
a giant cannon is
Huh.
pointing at you. So
This is not something we've encountered before.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Only to work
Maybe
on
it's
ladders.
part of the game.
Let's go say hi to
M-
Chris.
yeah, maybe a full headset reboot. I don't know.
That's
That
the
would
only
do
thing
anything.
other thing I could recommend.
Say
He's
hi.
having audio issues.
Looks like he. Yeah.
Thomas,
Yeah,
I don't know if you're interested.
Andy, what are
there
you
is,
working on these
In
days?
Hamburg, there's a group called Next Reality Hamburg.
Working
and
on
they're
this
having
forest hiking app that is multiplayer.
Sorry,
So
Huh.
you're cutting out.
it's
Chris.
it's
Hey,
it's more of
hey,
an
can we go to the
experience
palm tree?
where you just go hiking, but you walk with your hands. Like your hands literally become your feet, and you walk,
Cool.
and you can create little hikes that you share with other people, and they could join
That's
your
cool.
your hike walk. It's basically because of like COVID, Like I can't go out and hike with people or
Yeah.
hang out with people, but I live in the city, urban Honolulu, and it's all just
Yeah.
concrete here, and I
Yeah.
miss the forest and nature. So it's more of an app that I really need.
Cool.
Like my dad, he
That's cool.
lives out in New Jersey, so it's like, oh, it'd be cool to just go on a hike with him in the woods and walk and talk. Better than
That's
like
very cool.
FaceTime or something.
Totally.
Is it on
Space
SideQuest?
Monkey.
Hey,
It's not on
How's it going?
SideQuest yet.
Really?
I've been
The,
working on this on and off
The
for
Lunch Hour podcast is
long time.
taking a week off because Max is a little sick.
it's just the
So there won't be that today, but we'll get kicked off with the full event at 1 and just kind of mingle and hang out until then.
yeah, sure. I'm also here to hang out anyway.
Awesome.
Cool. Is this your first time in here, Julian?
Yeah, I just tested the app an hour ago, and that's it.
Oh, awesome.
Cool. Well, welcome in. What brings you in here? Are you working on a VR project?
Yes, yes, we got our pre-production founded for MOBA, free MOBA.
And what's the app?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm sorry.
What kind of app is it?
It's a game. It's a multiplayer game. It's a MOBA, multiplayer online battle arena.
Cool. Oh, very cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, yeah. It's,
Does it have a name yet? Is it Space Monkey?
It's all temporary, and I don't know if I can
Yeah, sure.
really communicate a lot
Yeah.
about it right now. But
Yeah.
so I'm mostly
Oh,
here
very
to
cool.
get the vibe.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
great.
right.
Well, maybe
were
in about
going-
10 minutes or so, people will start coming in, I think.
Okay.
I can give
We
you,
were,
can give you a tour of the features in the meantime.
Yeah, why not?
cool.
Go for
So obviously you got teleport and joystick, two things. So if you click on an avatar, you get this business card. It's a nice business card. So if you
okay.
request my business card, so I'm going to request yours right here. And if you request it, so you'll get an email, and then that email will take you to a chat thread between us on Spatial 8, sort of like a DM, basically. And that's like how you can follow up with people and get their information. I also have a super special secret feature,
Ooh.
a t-shirt cannon, but that's restricted access for now. That's how we shoot off t-shirts. So at 1:20 every week we shoot off a t-shirt, and if you catch it, we'll ship a real one to your door in real life.
Oh,
That's kind
That's
of one of
really
our fun
fun.
things we do. Yeah. Yeah. What country are you located in?
did you guys? I'm from Belgium,
Oh, cool.
really close to France, so
Yeah, cool.
it's not the same time zone. It's pretty late.
Sure. Yeah.
What time is it over there?
It's almost 10 p.m. now.
Oh wow,
Belgium
Yeah,
is
you're
like-
exactly
how is
12 hours
Belgium
from me.
like- Yeah, yeah. I think we're like 9. Yeah, Hawaii. You're probably the earliest right now.
It's
I'm on Central
9:43 a.m.
American
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
almost the other side of the earth.
Yeah.
Julian, it seems like Belgium is like a VR hotspot somehow. Like, there's all these great VR projects coming from Belgium. And
Yeah, there's
one of
Space
our
Pirate VR and
yeah, and Cubism.
Hyperdash too.
Thomas is
Mark?
actually over here. You know
Oh.
Cubism?
Hey, oh,
That's
How's it going?
Thomas Van Buell
Very
is the
good, thank
developer of
you.
Cubism over there, and that's
I,
one of the top selling
I
apps on
realize
the App
right
Store.
now
He's
that
from Belgium
I
also.
need to change my
Oh,
avatar.
that's fun.
It looks not so.
Yeah,
No,
I should go
it looks
talk to
good.
him.
Oh yeah, yeah. It takes
Yeah,
a
sure.
second
Go
to
ahead.
load in.
Although there is no
definitely.
rush.
I got it.
But yeah, you look.
Yeah, yeah, no
I
rush.
was
He'll be here
curious.
for a while.
Did
Yeah.
you guys
Your guys' booth is
develop
awesome.
this app?
Oh, thank you very
Yeah,
much.
we did. Yep.
Looks so good.
Yeah, we.
And
what's
what's your
we used to
background? I mean,
Hi.
Your booth.
So,
your
like
booth-
5 years ago, we started.
thank
Oh,
you.
no.
Here, why don't you come?
Thanks
Let's
for
go get a little
continuing, and
conversation
it's
pod over
really
here. Why don't you come follow me? This is our new feature.
Wow,
it's
the
a private
sound.
chat. You want to
The
try it out?
sound
okay, let's
is
try it out.
awesome. Like if I move my head and I hear the sound from the right side, and if I move my head again, I hear it from the left side. It's nice. I never experienced something like that.
We actually just this week added in. See these blue rings over here? There are 4 of them spread throughout the space, and those are 2D audio channels. So if you ever want to if you feel like you're overlapping with other conversations or want to have a private conversation, you can hop into those blue rings, and then it'll put you to another audio channel that's just 2D rather than spatial, and you can kind of have a private conversation there.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Jeff.
Just tried it out. Very nice.
What's up, Jesse?
Hello, Jeff.
How's it going?
Thomas, real good. How are you guys?
Good.
Hey.
Hello.
Thank you very much.
How's your week been going, Jeff?
Oh, pretty shitty. I've been in the middle of in the middle of a move from what we sold our house and we're moving into a new house, and it's all good, but it's all very difficult. So almost done.
Yeah. Moving is a pain.
Yeah, and the 2 little kids don't help, but they're trying. They're making an effort.
Well, if you make them lift the heavy boxes, they can help.
Yeah. I'll have you come over and tell them to do that.
Hey, Mitch.
What's up, everyone?
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
If you guys weren't here last week, these blue zones are audio chats. So if you want to
I
pull
was
someone,
just giving them the rundown,
Oh,
Justin, on that.
I'm repeating you. Okay, sounds good. Makes sense.
So the blue zone
Also-
meaning where the palm trees are?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
palm trees, and there's a couple others as well. Another new
Okay,
thing we added this week, if you guys aren't familiar with it yet, is so now when you request a business card, you'll get an email. Now instead of just being kind of stuck there, that email will take you to a direct message thread on our website between the 2 of you. So if you want to follow up with someone after the event, that's a cool way to do it.
Oh, that's so cool.
Perfect.
That's one of those missing pieces in a lot of these
Totally.
trade show things. There was one I was doing, which I think I sent you a message, Jesse, about it, where they do it in AltSpace. And
yeah.
it's so cumbersome they have signs above next to the booths, and you click on them, but then you have to fill out a form, and it's just so cumbersome. Like filling out forms in these headsets are just such. I mean, someone's gonna fix that at some point, but
Exchanging contact info in AltSpace was like the #1 reason we built this app. We used to
Oh,
do
wow,
events.
really?
We used to do a meetup in AltSpace, and then we're like, man, no one follows up because it's so hard to share information. So we're like, we'll make a new app, and that will be the first feature.
There you
that's
go.
interesting. That's
official.
the question I was going to ask, and that's a good thing to know.
Mm-hmm.
And
For sure.
Mitch, that'd actually be great for what you're trying to do if you have conversations with indie devs who might be interested in getting some swag on your website, just following up.
Oh, absolutely.
through that.
I was totally
Yeah.
thinking about that.
Yeah.
For sure. So I had
Yeah,
another
Mitch-
kind of off-the-wall question for you guys. Was your logo intentionally designed to look like something when it's upside down?
No, does it? Let's see.
Seriously, you didn't notice that? It looks like somebody playing a video game upside down.
Wait,
turn
hold on.
upside down.
Do I
it
have
looks
to
like
literally
some-
turn my head?
I think I'm
It looks like some dude playing a video game, like a console video game.
I don't know if I see it.
Well, when you'll see it when it turns over. But when you log into your.
can't see it.
This is actually kind of funny to watch everybody turn their heads. Somebody should take a picture of this. But
Thomas looks like he knows what he's doing.
It's just
no, but it really does. Like when you first log into where the logo spins, when it's upside down, it looks like some guy with his hands on a console with his hair kind of up
interesting.
in the air.
Oh, I see it
I
now.
thought you did it on purpose.
The hair kind of up. I see it now.
Right? I'm thinking you guys are super clever, but I guess you're not.
He's got a headband on. He's got a headband on.
Accidentally clever. That's probably one of the best ways to be it.
And it looks like an alien, sort of.
Yeah.
I told
kind of.
I told Mitch yesterday that the way this whole thing started was we just bought the domain. We didn't even know what we were doing. We were just like, that's a cool domain, Spatial Ape. We bought it. Everything else came from there.
Nice.
So, RJ, is audio working now?
Does not appear to be.
Oh no.
Let's get laryngitis.
Damn, I
Well,
wonder
Aaron.
why that is.
How's it going, Ferry? Good to see you again. Welcome in.
I noticed, Jesse,
Hello.
that the first couple times I was in here, I had my Bluetooth headset on, and I ditched that
Oh.
idea because there was a big delay.
Interesting. Huh.
Hey,
Yeah.
Evan.
So Lisi would be the only woman here if she were here.
Yeah. She was having issues finding her USB to connect and plug into the headset, so we'll see. She should make it, but she might be delayed. Hey, Zachary.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Hey, Zach.
Hey, Mitch.
So I downloaded the Squingle demo.
Uh-huh.
I figure if I'm going to come in here, I should at least try it right before I talk to somebody.
Totally.
And it just crashes. I tried it like 4 or 5 times.
Was it the
and every
Steam
time
or
I-
SideQuest version?
No, it's the App Lab.
Oh, it was AppLab. Huh.
Yeah.
I know Justin did it through Steam, I believe, and it worked. I haven't tried the AppLab one. That's
Yeah,
too
so-
bad.
And the dev of that's going to be here today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Well, I'll let him know.
You can ask him that.
Yeah.
You like
Well, it's good
puzzles,
to know. It's
right,
always good
Mitch?
to know when your stuff's not working. Like I've been sending people to my store, and like every once in a while, someone goes, "Oh, did you know this doesn't work?" I'm like, "Oh no, but I'll fix it." So it's always good to have that kind of stuff pointed out.
Totally.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, Squeaks.
Sorry it took me longer than usual to join.
Oh, no worries.
Well, here's another kind of off-the-wall thought. So, we don't really do anything with our left hand in here, right? But if I set my controller down, it looks really awful, really odd. So I wonder if there's like maybe a way to just go, I just make the left hand just do something normal. I don't know. It's kind of probably something that doesn't need to be worked on.
Sensor.
Right, but something
Or
like, oh well, because if I just set it on my desktop right here, which is my real desktop, then it just sits there.
It's kind of underexplored that you can really hijack the avatar, right? Like, I think in Topgolf, when you swing your club with like one controller, they actually pose the other hands to also hold the club. But I mean, your hand could be going like this or whatever. I mean, you could really animate avatars.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
To hilarious effect.
Well,
yeah.
Hey, Evan.
yeah, they do some. They do some of that with the hand
Good, how you
tracking.
doing?
Have you ever
Real good,
or
thanks.
seen the guys talk who do
Awesome.
the hand physics lab?
Yeah,
just
yeah,
ma-
yeah.
Calculate, like
Evan,
because
do you
if
know,
you have one hand goes in
how to
front of the
do-
other hand,
no need to do
you
it
can't
if you
see
don't want
it,
to, but
right?
just
So they have to kind of
the
predict
avatar.
where your hand
So
was
it's not a
going
white
at the time
square.
and kind of keep
No,
it going.
give me a new one.
The
Or
right,
Yeah,
the stuff that they have to
so-
think about.
Yeah, so if
tracking.
you
Yeah,
go
yeah, yeah.
Great.
onto our website
No,
on
exactly,
your profile
yeah.
page and scroll down, there should be a place
It's predictive.
there
That them.
to set your avatar,
Yeah, yeah,
and then
yeah.
if you quit the app and come
I
back in,
think
you'll
it's
be...
pretty similar
Oh,
with
nice.
archery
Okay.
games too, because
I'm gonna stay
on
for
the,
now.
on the Vive,
yeah,
Ja, ich habe
the
irgendeinen genommen.
camera
Ich habe
will
nicht
see
den
your
von
hand if
Ready
it's behind your
Player
head,
Me genommen.
not on
we
the Quest.
often have at least a few
Also ich
who
habe
are the
nämlich
white
einen richtig
squares.
schönen
Yeah, it's because of a
Foto
difference in
It is.
tracking.
It's charming.
Oh,
right?
is it?
Also, der Carry einer trifft
Yeah.
wahnsinnig gut.
So
What,
they
what
do
brings you in
Yeah.
here?
use gyroscopic prediction
Yeah,
based
by
on
I just like plugging myself into
what's
That's
read
one
out
thing.
from the
VR
controller
space.
itself. When you put it behind your
I'm in the
back,
process of
that it
launching
can't be
a
seen.
company
It's
that's,
predicting based off of
part,
other
Nice.
sensor
Also,
data.
ich hau das hier
Oh,
irgendwie
that's
auf.
cool.
Das ist
Just getting a
ziemlich
feel
gute
for-
Funktionalität.
But-
I always
It's
wondered
just
because
wahnsinnig.
there's a number of games where you end up with your
Yeah,
hand
it's
behind your head and you know it can't
Aber
track
diesen
that.
Euro
It
nicht
seems to
big
be
part of what
good.
I'm doing right
But
now.
that's
You wanna
really
try-
I didn't
Cool.
know it did that.
That's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah, this,
But I guess like
How
I might
far
not be
along are
tracking
you
specifically,
in the
but,
studio?
It doesn't really
Yeah, I
matter,
think-
right? Most of the things you're
not
doing
right.
down
From
here,
one
like,
of them,
you
you
don't
could
need to be very precise.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
when you're
but-
shooting an arrow, but
I had a Gear
Yeah,
VR,
it's
and
the
that just has
background.
a single
Remote
gyroscopic
control
remote,
stack.
yeah.
and they're
Ah, das
able
ist
to
eine super
extrapolate
Idee.
based on your
Warum
head
sieht
we
das
need
gar
to
nicht
um,
so
we can
krass
rotation
possibly
aus?
hand
actually
off to other people to build for
very
us.
simple. I
Really
can
kind of figuring out what it is
moving
we
the
wanna
remote
do
forward and
then
backwards,
learning the tech stack
and
from there.
That
it
makes
works
sense.
surprisingly well.
What other spaces have you found to be?
Yeah.
So how's it been
You're
going,
turning
Jeff?
around.
Good, Mitch.
Interesting.
Like I said, the move has been
Uh-huh.
bitch, but other than that, it's pretty good.
And
So
I
that's
just
been
talked
really
to the
good.
guy
It grilled my
I
week.
who helped run
I haven't
that,
moved in about
Jesse
10 years, and the
Alton,
last
I
time I
kann ja
moved,
auch
I
hier
had
mit
lived
dem
in the
anderen
place.
Stick, kann man ja diesen
12
Teleport
years.
machen.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are like I look at what it would take to move me now.
But
wir gehen zu unserem
Thomas, somebody
Ja?
told me
Es
you
ist so
were
geil.
happy.
Unser
Unser
Ding.
house.
Yeah, wait, are you from
The market
Belgium?
was really good.
Yeah,
so
I
we
am.
not
You
well.
wanna go in a-
but
necessary.
in a
so-
bubble?
Yeah,
there was
sure.
potential asbestos at our
I see
the
your
place where
uh,
we're renting now.
your
We had
username
to,
here,
Oh,
but,
wow.
click on
we had to get a
it,
test
so
on
I'm
it.
actually-
And
on the East
we have
Coast in
everything
New York,
ready to
so I
go
go to
last
the New
Saturday.
York
We were going to be done.
AR,
And we had to.
meetups, I've been
Yeah.
meeting
I wasn't
XR
willing to,
community
move
there.
my family in there, nor
Is
was my
that
wife,
one
unless we
less
had
person?
certainty that we weren't breathing in cancer dust.
I actually
you know?
had my first in
Oh
person.
right, no,
last
totally
night
fair.
with the guy
My
who runs
my girlfriend's
XR
an
editorial
environmental
for
geologist.
Yahoo News.
She doesn't test for asbestos,
And
but they
so
test
yeah,
for all
I'm just
kinds of
still
other
at the
stuff.
phase of meeting people and
yeah.
figuring
Goes out
out
and
where I
does soil
belong
sand.
around here.
Today she's out on a job doing.
You're always welcome here. We usually have some cool
Oh,
guys.
your audio's
come
cutting out a
in
little bit,
and-
Mitch.
And great talk. So
Oh, is it?
feel
That's
free to
odd.
join whenever.
Maybe
For
I'm
me anyway.
touching my
We'll
headset.
do people.
How about now?
Okay.
Is that
Is
a little better?
anybody here
Yeah.
aside from the Thursday?
I think I might have been touching the
events,
headset.
or
Might caused a problem.
We
it's just
leave it.
a
Oh,
cool
okay.
space to hang.
I know,
She works
totally.
for
We
an
leave it
environmental company. You were
fully
saying that.
open, so you're
Oh yeah,
Well,
so
because
she's an
next
environmental
time if you just wanna
geologist,
meet
and
up with
so
a
she
friend or another
oftentimes
group,
goes
you're
out on
totally
job
welcome
sites
to
where they
use the
test for
space.
stuff
Our events that we
like
put on are
asbestos. I mean,
generally
they
only
don't usually get
Thursdays,
asbestos
although we have
much
one
nowadays.
tomorrow
They
night as
test
well.
for more for chemicals,
but the space is always open and
things like
working, so
PCBs
if you ever
and
wanna
All right, well,
use it,
great
like,
job. I really
dry
I like the
cleaners
space a
and
lot.
places like that.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
ALS is a company
as
probably
you
does similar
know,
to what
with
she does.
these
That
booths,
they
you can
tested
bring
it
in
for
all
me. They're all
sorts of
over the
assets.
world,
If
from
you
what I
do
can tell.
have another
They
group
did
that
test the
you
same
wanna bring
like
in here
same
and
day.
wanna
I
set
brought it in.
stuff
They had
up,
it in like a couple hours.
feel free
Pretty
to
sweet.
shoot us a note and
And it was
we're
not
happy
Nice.
asbestos, so
help
we were able to continue the
facilitate
move.
that.
But it's been a slow
Good
process.
to know.
Definitely going to want to
Yeah.
down the line.
All right.
and
Yeah.
I'll
So
What
let
about
I
you? How's
opened
the
the store up.
website?
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah, I opened the store up, and we've been getting some
I'm
sales. I
gonna
haven't done
go
any marketing yet, other
Nice.
than just
Like great
word of
content.
mouth stuff, right?
Uh-huh.
And so it's in that sense, it's going well. It's just it's always slower than you want it to be, but that's just it's just the way it is. So no, I'm really jazzed about the way it's been going so far. I just got to get more traffic to it, and so that's my next step right now. Is I've been slow all week. Just I got sick. I don't even know what I'm sick with. It's some sort of a head cold kind of a thing. So like all week, it feels like I'm swimming through Jello. You know what I mean? Like just everything is
I
slow.
had something like that a
I
little
felt
while back.
I'm taking notes on everything, making lists for everything because I keep forgetting what I'm going to be doing. But so it's just slowed me down is all. Of course I went and got tested. Like you'd get tested for everything just in case. So there's no COVID, so I'm safe there.
That's good.
But yeah.
Oh God, what
I hope
happened?
you feel
So yeah,
better.
just kind of focused, getting going.
What
on
about your
it.
traffic?
Did you
Where's it
see
coming
that,
from?
Squeaks?
Yeah, what just happened?
But it's just people. I've been talking to people. I some people with
His
some
head
very
just
small
got
groups.
launched.
I gave them like
I
discount
have no
coupon
idea what
codes.
just happened there.
And one lady came. She
never
placed
seen
a
that
$90 order. It was
I think I'm
35%
using
off,
someone
so I didn't make a lot of
else's
money
website,
on
I
it. But
guess
that's
someone's
okay.
gonna
I mean,
go
the
on
bottom line
the
is somebody spent $90 with me and
Yeah.
picked stuff that they liked. Actually, somebody
When
from
do you
here.
start off school?
When these guys pushed
in
that in their
September.
newsletter,
Okay.
someone named
Still got a little
Sean,
time.
I
Yeah.
forget, I probably even talked to
Trying
him,
to make
but
the most of it. I just wanna finish
they
one
bought
level
a bunch
before
of stuff
it
for
starts
me,
up again.
and they actually made some
Did you end up
suggestions,
deciding if
and
you're
I'm
going to
make
do a
some changes
Halloween
to some of my designs
version?
because of what they said, and they're
We
going to buy some
decided
more stuff.
against it. We were
So,
gonna.
Nice, man,
Someone
nice.
else told me that it's not a good idea. So
Yeah.
What about
Yeah,
like
pretty cool.
SEO? Are you running an SEO strategy?
yeah, the main game.
So no, and the reason
It's
reason
gonna
for
work better
that
us,
is
that's
that
probably if I could just focus on one
SEO
project and then not
takes a while,
spend it out
and
there
to
multiple.
do it right is
Geklickt.
Yeah.
Success. You will receive an email in the next couple of minutes. Okay. Cool.
Right.
Guck mal, wer noch da ist.
Echt cool.
Where's the stage?
Over there. War auch Flo da. Da hat man dich gehört in dem Video vom letzten Mal.
Oh mein Gott. Peinlich.
Hot
Das ist so,
everywhere
das ist
this
so,
summer.
ja, wo so
This is actually broken. So I just have like a tiny fan sitting over there. It's all we have, really.
Yeah, with us, to launch the website.
That's tough.
Yeah. I meant to mention this last week, by the way, because I sideloaded it last week just to check it out before the event started and everything.
Yeah.
My hands aren't actually where they should be. Like my controller's like around here-ish.
Like
And
your
my-
wrist? Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Like, is that happening with
noticed that.
everyone, or is it just with
I've
the
never heard
Quest
one
1?
ever launch
I'm
on
not
time.
No, that's
Everyone look
happening
at your
here.
hand.
Yeah.
The
I really
thing
need to
is,
get rid
don't
of
mind
this
the delay,
quest.
but what
It
kinda
lags
pissed me
like
off
crazy,
was
and like
that
most
they
apps that
never
are supposed to
told
be
me
able
there
to
was gonna
support
be
quests,
delay.
because quests
We
here
were
and
very
everything.
clear on
And my
days,
right
all this
thumbstick
stuff,
has
and
drift on it, so
I was
like
giving them, I
it's
wasn't
yeah.
like micromanaging them space,
Falling
and
into
then
it.
Okay.
This is why website developers have such a bad name.
Oh, I've seen you on Twitter before.
It's-
Oh, I
His
didn't expect you to be here.
It's
all
not.
you need
It's
to
never
do is
our-
tell me.
his audio has not been working for some
and by the way,
reason.
not blame it on me would have been cool too.
Oh, we need hand gestures then.
Yeah, sign
Hand
language.
gestures would be cool. It's like thumbs up,
They were
thumbs
like, but you were
down.
supposed to
know,
send
I've
us the
been doing-
content. I'm like, but you
I
guys
think
were doing
Oculus
content in
actually
Spanish, and then I was
supports
gonna
like they
translate
made their
it.
own animation
Like, yeah,
blueprint
but,
that you can
well,
kind of
like,
like copy from with their own
I don't have that in the
projects.
budget.
So I think if you can
Huh.
just sideload
Yeah, that's
that,
awesome.
like
Love you guys
they
now.
made like a pair of
Great.
default hands you
I
can
like
use. I
that
think.
the thought
So I
they
think
put
you can just kind of use those
helped me kind of
animations.
build out the service.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure though.
Interesting.
Really happy with all that.
Yeah.
but
Over there's the main
the-
stage.
Yeah, now we're at the point where we're just like, okay, let's get the website done, and let's get.
Yeah, it's kind of
Let's
weird
move
because
on.
we're not actually using the main stage for
Exactly.
anything right now.
Yeah. I mean, I'm.
I didn't think
But that's where the
I thought we were
that's
gonna
where
have
the
to be able
fundraising
to ebb and
event's gonna
flow,
be.
right?
Oh,
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, that's the whole. The point of being a small business. One of the benefits is being able
Thomas,
to.
how's work
shift
going
quickly.
on
Yeah.
on your
So,
game? Have you
you're-
been
There's
working
some
on it
bugs
much
on how-
recently?
I mean, yes, but
doing-
no. I get up
Yeah, let's go,
early
go
in
ahead.
the morning, like
I'm with you.
5:30, 6 o'clock, just so I can squeeze in a little bit of game time or dev time before
Yeah.
the kids get up and the wife gets up and she's got to get ready for work. And soon, kids are back in school.
Monday, for us anyway.
They're
yeah,
starting
we're
Monday
next
for you? Wow.
Thursday.
Yeah, that's coming up. Damn, summer is coming to an end.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, everyone with kids is all excited. Everyone without is not so excited. Weeks, are you? I wonder if you're the only one in. I guess Lucas is in school.
Ja, war schon
I wonder who else is.
Well, it's up to talk to Lisa
The help
about. So
yourself
I'll have to connect
guys
with her if
are-
she doesn't make it today.
Yeah, isn't help yourself like some sort of like a project for the university or something? Or?
Yeah, exactly.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. And Zachary, you're still in school, right?
I'm gonna check her out.
Yeah, I
Miss
am
Ann.
going into grad school in 2 weeks. RIT
Oh,
up in
nice.
Rochester. Yep,
Cool.
I'm excited. Go.
Summer.
Interestingly enough, sorry for the offshoot, but I ended up. I think I wasn't in any audio space. I must have toggled between spaces in a way that
Oh.
I couldn't hear anyone.
Interesting.
Yeah, maybe it would have reset if I went into a space and then back here. That
Yeah.
probably would be the case.
Huh. Yeah, we had some bug with that last week where somebody came into the main stage area here and then was dropped into a 2D channel that nobody was in and they couldn't hear anything, but
Oh,
they popped into that audio channel and then came back and it fixed it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll do that in the future. I just restarted the app.
Yeah, it's probably a good quick problem to solve if you don't know where to go.
So who else is in school? I'm in the school of life, guys. Where are you?
I'm right there with you, Chris. School of
Yeah.
life.
Awesome.
2-3 decades and counting.
Ah, come on. Is this against old people? Hello?
Hey, Kicking It Studios is your first time in, yeah?
No, he's a good.
Oh.
He's
Oh.
just
there.
has a good avatar.
I think I remember seeing them in the Discord. So like,
I think your audio might not be working. We had one issue with that. If you try quitting out and coming back, it might fix it. Hey, Quentin. How's
What's
it
up?
going?
It's going good.
Welcome in. If you want to change your avatar away from a square white block, then that's on the profile page. No need to do it now, but just so you know. You can set a Ready Player Me avatar.
Well, I have the feeling that Michael and Quentin, they could
How's it
trade
going,
a
man?
little bit. Quentin
How you
gives them
doing?
some of his hate.
I'm pretty
some
good.
and,
Well, I guess I will reset my
Been struggling
floor
with this
hate
flag all day.
because I'm
Oh,
being
yeah.
mobbed here for being
Yeah,
too small.
I'm so sorry.
That's
Some weird
racism,
stuff
you know.
going on.
I just stepped on
Yeah.
top of your head, Michael.
But
I don't know if hacking on small people is
Yeah.
racism.
how's the
Got
level
started.
going?
It's going.
Ism, yeah.
I mean, I'm not really doing much more layout, so.
That's good.
Let's see.
Got all of Christian's requests nailed in there.
Slowly, it's getting full.
Yeah, I mean, I mean,
Sooner
I think
or
we can.
later.
That'll.
Uh-oh.
How many people can this space support?
Now it's just a matter
Really?
of like,
Oh. Who's frozen?
you know, balancing
Whoa.
textures and materials.
Oh no, me too. Ja, das ist das Problem. Irgendwas haben die mit der Größe gemacht. Wir hatten das vorher irgendwie anders skaliert.
Where'd that go?
I understand.
Got booted.
Yeah, it was a robot the size of the Empire State Building.
It was the
Somebody loaded in a model that was like enormous.
What's up, Michael?
I don't know why that would
I just showed them my
flag it.
cannon.
It's not any
I think we have the same username.
more complex
Good,
than
man. How you
anything
doing?
else.
Yeah, I think you have the same avatar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
it's-
think we changed that.
I did notice that sometimes people load in models and it crashes.
got a white
Like
hat.
maybe it's just
Oh.
too many tries to handle over
beard.
this many people. I'm not sure.
I mean, they have limits on their
Cool.
upload.
Here, let's.
but
I'm gonna get a couple
I
people.
don't
on
know
the
if
chat out.
people
I
ignore
can
those
do
or
private
if they don't
chat feature.
enforce them. I'm not sure.
Right. Yeah, I wonder if
We got
they just
34
need to do like some sort of like
So more analog style in our
Oh,
game.
that is a
I like
chunk
it. You can
Right.
complete
loading
lists
instead of
and then
loading it
you
all
can
at once. You know,
select
I don't
things.
know.
That's probably a better way than
Yeah.
Let's go, man.
Load
Hey,
one
anyone
part,
want to
don't know
go
how
test
you
out
do
the
that,
private
but-
chat feature?
I mean, you know more
Does
about
anyone know
networking than I do.
Okay, yeah, follow me.
It doesn't seem
Yeah,
like
I
an
barely
easy
know
task.
any. I don't really know much about
Jump in.
that.
Fine,
Yeah.
but not as good for seated
Were
because
you
it's hard to reach
go to
stuff.
market or going
People today.
I mean,
Right.
we already have
Yeah.
the tilting.
Yeah, but even with
It's like
tilted,
a consistent
I can't
crowd
actually play
every
it like
week
that.
now.
Just knock
Right.
stuff over 'cause I have
Mm-hmm.
to reach
Yeah, I
stuff
see a lot of
far.
familiar faces.
I mean, at some point, I
Yeah,
don't.
the first time we logged in, there were like
Jo.
Right.
17
Ich würde
people.
bei
Like,
dir
then you're
einbauen.
not-
Wenn
Yeah.
irgendeiner
then you don't
Schlag
have a
macht,
play
dann
space
stellst
set
du ihm
up.
das Ding
If
vor.
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Und
I
fast.
don't know. Like you're
Hast
not
du Silver
really supposed to
getextured?
play in front of your desk. You should
Ich
be
habe nur
playing
ein
the
bisschen
other way.
verändert, weil ich habe die
Squingle.
runtergeladen, weil ich die mal brauchte und habe die nur noch ein bisschen
Yeah, as long as people
Squingle.
can reach, I think reach is
Yeah.
important for
Oh,
accessibility.
Squingle. Yeah.
Yes, reach is important.
Kudos.
Yeah, but
So as long as
like
you can
this,
grab everything.
So eine alte
yeah, I think
eine
that. I mean, that would have to be the big change.
Marinekanone.
I just you were DMing me on Twitter earlier. It's Thomas from Cubism.
Oh, hi.
I played
Nice
your.
to meet you.
I played your. Yeah, nice to meet you, man. I played the demo
Oh.
earlier, and I bought it on App Lab afterwards. So I'm looking forward to playing more of it. It's
Oh,
really
that's
good.
amazing. I actually sent you the key ages ago before it was released. You were the first person I sent it to because I'm such a
Oh,
big
really?
I'm starstruck right now. I'm like a massive fan
no.
of Cubism.
Yeah, well, I'm a fan of your game now too, man. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry if I missed that. Then I'm really bad at keeping up with Twitter, but well,
That's
I'm
okay.
looking
I
forward
think
to
maybe
playing
it wasn't
now,
on.
though.
Maybe it wasn't on your Cubism account, but on your personal Twitter account or some other account you have. Or maybe I just
Right,
sent it
right.
to someone completely random.
We got a nice surprise. I mean,
Good, I have to like figure out
that's cool.
art.
No, dude, it's really cool, man. I mean, from what I got from the demo, it
Thanks
seems
for
so
stopping in.
straightforward.
Oh
and
yeah,
do
thanks
such a
for
good job of
the reminder.
intuitively showing where the gameplay is. You know, when
So
when
is
you
this
start
just like a
something,
showcase?
To look
figure
around.
out your way through it.
Oh, nice.
And I like that it's like through the style. It's kind of
You get a notification. If you accept, we should like get launched into like a dynamically created channel. So that's one of the things we're working on next.
Yeah, perfect. MVP, maybe just put like 10 or 20 of these spaces in here. Let people just kind of come to them and then move on to letting us, create our own.
Yeah, for sure. And like based on today, it seems like people are already using them. I've seen a few people gathered over on the other palm tree and over here, and so it's been encouraging so far.
Nice.
It's a nice concept.
What are the white lights coming from the ground? What are they stand for?
Like Persian rugs.
They stand for something interesting is here.
Okay.
Look here. Yeah.
That's about all I got.
So if you just leave the space, does
Highlighters.
it automatically take you out of it, and then you can just come right back in? Or
Yeah,
is
you can
is there,
try.
like, a time
Walk
limit?
across
Okay.
walk across the boundary and come back. You can't hear me now. Yeah, and now you
Yeah.
can hear me.
Audio.
I did notice a bug though.
What's the bug?
I was out in the center and I could hear only you. No one was around me, and you were in this space.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it kind of it tapped me into this channel for some reason. I came into the space. I could no longer hear you. Left, came back. It was good.
Okay, that's super odd. And if you do have that bug, the best thing I would encourage you to do is just to enter and leave a space. Just kind of cycle it through.
Yeah, that worked for me.
Welcome to it's a big PBX, the metaverse.
Cool. Well, yeah, please make use of these as much as you can. We started a Discord. I don't know if you guys saw that, so that's been good. If you have bugs, that's a good place to report them. Another new feature that I already told some people who already hear about, but now if you request a business card in here, you're going to get an email, and that email is going to take you to a direct message thread on our website with that person. So you can have like a real follow-up conversation, which is cool.
Oh, that's impressive. Wow. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought
Anyone
I
have
read that we get cannons this time for emotes.
Oh, not yet. Not quite yet.
No.
Oh.
So
forgot my
we're
other
working
controller.
on, the emote system. Everyone's going to get these, and this is going to be how we give reactions, especially for the fundraising event that's upcoming. So we have like all kinds of cool badges, like a boot comes out if you're bootstrapped, or like a paintbrush if you have cool art in your game, like things like that. And they're going to be persistent. So if someone fires a badge in your booth, it's going to stick to the booth and be there when you come back, which is super cool. I would say next week maybe we'll have a prototype shift for you guys. Hopefully 2 weeks from now.
Awesome.
Hey,
My booth
Justin,
is-
should we get kicked off in the center?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it. You guys want to meet up kind of around that cannon in the middle?
Perfect.
It's a friend.
Yeah, let's just give everyone a second here to gather up. Can everyone hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, cool. Very cool. Oh, we got a lot of us in here today. That's fun.
Have you been to these things before?
yeah. I try to come.
Okay.
You know, whenever I get a chance, it's kind of cool to see the app evolve and to like see the presentations and see what's being made.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, well, I'll just say a couple words and we can get back to what we were doing. Thanks, everyone, so much for coming. This seems to get a little bigger and more fun every week. Few things. I think the performance and bugs have gotten a lot better, but a couple things there. For one, if you find anything that doesn't work, obviously come tell us if you can. If you can't, our Discord bugs channel is an awesome way to report that, and we really appreciate any feedback in that regard. There are a couple lingering bugs that don't necessarily cause crashes, but may cause some functionality to deactivate. If that happens to you, just let us know and restart your app, and everything should be okay. Let's see, coming up, I think the two features I'll tell you about is one is these blue zones are private audio channels. So if you want to have a chat with someone without being overheard or hearing crosstalk, that's the place to do it. And in the coming weeks, we're going to be introducing emotes fired by these t-shirt cannons. So everyone's going to get a cannon like this. And we got all kinds of cool badges and awards that people are going to be able to give out. So stay tuned for that. Besides that, if you have a booth in here, how about you come up and join me, and you can give a kind of a 30-second intro on what you're doing. Who would that be? That's Squingle, yeah, Bio, Benjamin. Who else? We got Construct Arcade, yeah, and 2 more, right? Lissy, she in here?
She is. I'm talking with her right now. She couldn't find her cord, so she's hopefully
Okay.
going to be joining late. But we will see.
No worries. And is Matthew from Upenders in here right now? No, no worries. Okay. Well, Florian, why don't you kick it off? Just give us the kind of the quick pitch, 30 seconds, what you're doing, and why we should come check out your booth.
Hi. Hey everyone, I'm Florian from Construct Arcade, and we are creating Construct Arcade, which is a WebStar games platform with tons of features. We have 29 games on the platform currently, and you can access them via your browser without installing anything. And we are trying to build a community around WebStar games where creators can earn their monetize their games, and players can compete against each other by playing on the leaderboards and by spending coins on in-game purchases, and among other things. So our booth is located behind me, the gray box over there. It might look a bit intimidating, but Brett, there's a lot of nice stuff in there. Come join us, and I'll tell you more about it. Thanks.
Awesome. Yeah, and I've spoken with these guys before, and what they're doing is super cool, so definitely go check it out. Benjamin, you want to give us a quick rundown of what you're doing?
Sure, yeah. I've never talked to an audience in VR. This is very surreal, but yeah. So my booth is the Squingle booth over on your left there. Squingle is a virtual reality psychedelic VR puzzle game where you have to guide balls through sort of iridescent mazes. It's been an awful lot of fun to develop, and there's a lot of kind of interesting technical stuff behind it as well. So very happy to talk to any of and all of you about Squingle.
Very cool. Awesome. Cool. And one last thing before we break up. The business card feature right now, if you request someone's business card, as of this week, you're going to get an email that links you to a direct message thread on our website, so you can have a conversation following up right in that context. So if that's useful to you guys, let us know. If it breaks, let us know. We're pretty excited about that new feature. And without further ado, let's fire off a t-shirt. So if you haven't been in here before, this is how it works. This is the Spatial Ape t-shirt cannon. I'm going to shoot it out. If you catch it, we will send a t-shirt to your house, a real one, okay? All right.
How do you catch it?
You gotta fire it from the cannon now. I mean,
you gotta fire it. And if you catch it by just having the t-shirt intersect your hand, you'll catch it automatically.
Got it.
And
Okay,
Justin,
ready,
I
guys?
think
All right.
Mitch wants
What's that?
to send out a couple as well, so maybe shoot.
Yeah,
3 or
absolutely.
4.
Okay, cool. So
Yeah,
we'll
go
do
for it.
3. The first one's going to be a Spatial Ape shirt, and the next couple will be courtesy of Mitch's new VR apparel store, which is super cool. All right, let's see some hands up. I wanted some eagerness, some enthusiasm. Yeah, there we go. There we go. All right, who's got it? Who's got it? Who's got
It's
it?
hilarious.
Who's got it?
Good
Yeah,
job.
there we go, Lucas.
Bravo.
All right, that's 1. That's the Spatial Ape shirt. Now we get 2 from Mitch's store. Who's got it?
Tell him
Who's
about
got
a
it?
game.
So hard.
Oh,
Construct.
Nice.
Real, good job. All right, one more.
Actually doing
One more.
that.
Captain Bang. There we go. Okay.
Yay.
Guys, well, thanks so much for coming. Let's go check out these great booths, and I'll see you guys next week.
And guys, one more
An
thing.
impact.
Lisi just messaged me. She is not going to be able to make it today, but is coming next week. Sorry about that. But if you want to talk to her, she's awesome. She'll be back here next week. So stop by next week if you can.
All right.
Great.
Sweet.
Right.
Cheetah.
Hey, Quentin.
Hast du gesehen? Ich stand irgendwo drauf.
Are you by any chance the same Quentin from the Valem YouTube channel?
Nee, ich stand auf irgendeinem anderen Kanal.
No,
You're kind of
definitely
right.
not.
Yeah.
I
Los
like
Bunker.
Retro gaming, man.
No.
This is also available on the web, so we have
I know.
this exact room as a hub where you can like go between games. If you go to the website, there's like a circle in the bottom right, and you can press on it, and you'll be brought into the web
Maybe that's
version.
me, but no, probably not.
Sure.
What happens if you go through the TV?
It's cool stuff.
Try it.
Do you get like a Mario 64?
I wish that was
kind of
that would
thing,
be
or-
so cool if you could like just go through it, and then you would have some. Here we go.
Do you have
Yeah,
it
there you go.
set up?
Yeah, no.
Can you use a ASWD keyboard and 2D screen on any of your experiences? Some things you can do both, you know, like hubs.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
instance.
Some games allow you to
Alright.
use multiple devices. So, for example, Barista Express or this chess game you see right over there. I don't know if you see it right now. Can be played on desktop,
I see Archer
on
do.
mobile, and the archery game is VR only.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know how
But-
smooth the video is playing. It's lagging for me a bit, but we do have some games
Okay.
that are PC possible. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
But I think I'll start from the beginning for everyone.
Yeah, dude, that's sick.
Like
Do
a
you know
bit
which
more
one you
about
got?
our team
Which
first.
shirt?
Ferry and Mark, please join me on the, I guess,
I want to go
stage.
see Construct Art.
Call it stage.
Curious.
I'm really curious about the camera as well.
Howdy, guys.
These are my teammates.
And you are okay.
I am okay. Hi guys. I'm Florian from Construct Arcade. I mainly do development on the platform. I make some of the games. This is Barista Express, one of my first larger WebXR experiences. So, if you're interested, you can check it out on the new tab page on the Oculus browser. This is Mark. Mark. introduce
Yeah,
yourself.
nice to meet you guys. It's my first time here, and I'm actually really impressed because even the sound is nice. If I turn my head and I can just hear the sound all
makes
over,
sense.
it's just fantastic.
So
You
will
realize
work on
already
that
that I'm
someday,
probably
but-
very
so you'll
new
be
here
using
in the
it for
VR
this new
world. And
game
I
jam next
joined
week,
the
but
team,
it's
I
not
think,
fully
2 months ago,
officially
and I'm
changed from
more
help
for
desk.
business,
Okay.
business development,
Makes sense.
management, stuff like this, and getting some money in the company. That's my plan.
What's the
Bro.
new name?
Hi, my name's Ferry.
Okay, yeah.
I'm
that's the
also
one,
a
though.
Spatial
That's
A
a good
first timer
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
a project
I like
manager
that.
at Construct Arcade. And I'm really happy to see so many people interested here.
Huh. I would love
Welcome.
to see that.
Oh, I've seen this barista thing.
You guys want to check
Oh, cool.
that then?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so to my left, to your right, probably, you can see a reel of the games that we have. But I'll talk more about Construct Arcade in general. So in 2018, at the end of 2018, me and my business partner Jonathan, who couldn't be here today, we thought, oh, you know what's missing on web is a WebXR platform for curated games. So we had some back then. WebXR wasn't even a thing. It was called WebVR, and it was very rudimentary what you could do in certain areas. It was, I mean, look at Barista Express. That was one of the first games that we made back then, and ever since then we've been developing a lot of tools and a lot of content with all kinds of stuff. So this is the latest game that we released, Archery Dungeon, where you actually have animated orcs that you can shoot with bow and arrow, and yeah. And so since 2018, we've been growing Construct Arcade with more and more games from all kinds of developers submitting them or us asking them, and we've also built like an account system on the website. We have leaderboards, and soon we'll be having friends lists and notifications and things like that to enable a community of gamers and developers to thrive together. So make sure to go into your browser and check out one of our games, and you could also look at all the games and join our Discord.
How does
link
the
should be on the website.
Sorry, not to bother you, but how do you the the charging policy? Do you join up onto the Construct Arcade and then get like 50 credits for $10 and then use credits like coins and machines?
Yeah. So currently we have payment method for a hard currency on the platform, like you said. So you buy a pack of, let's say 50 coins with PayPal or credit card, and you get to spend the coins on the platform for in-game items. In the future, we are also thinking of adding more and more things that you can purchase. Currently, it's things like bows in the Arrow game, or you buy just generally cosmetic items in different games, so like a chess set or different coffee machines in the coffee game, Thursday Express game, and yeah, things like that. But we're also considering expanding that to other things so that developers, can sell their in-game content like level packs or things like that. The way they wish.
But just to be clear, Construct Arcade is completely free to play. There is no classic arcade style you pay tickets to play a game. You can play as much as you want for free. Right now it's purely cosmetic items. In the future, of course, we might think about developers being able to offer certain levels for a small amount. But every game needs to be at some level playable and be a nice experience. So it's just a paid addendum if you want to.
Okay.
So do you guys have like a... Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to ask, do you guys have like a content moderation for the games that are uploaded? Like, are you working with developers? Like, how does that process kind of work?
Yeah, so we talk to our developers. We are very much in contact. So since we don't have automatic uploading or like manual uploading by the developers, we talk to them, we ask them, and if there would be obviously content that we deem inappropriate, because we work closely with Facebook on hosting our games on the platform, so a wider audience is going to be consuming our games. So we try to like not have games that are pornographic or too violent, but that's not something that we had to moderate so far, as WebXR isn't like as huge at. I mean, there are porn games, but like no one wanted to put porn games on Construct Arcade, obviously, because it's kind of obvious that it's not a platform that would host that in the capacity that we could. But yeah, we do it on a case-by-case basis, I guess. Yeah.
And when it comes to quality, we do a little moderation as well, but more in the sense of we test your game, we check it, we see some problems, performance problems or bugs or anything, and we try to find solutions to help you fix those bugs and make your game a great experience for the user as well, because no developer profits from a game being a terrible experience just from having bugs.
Gotcha.
How much of the game do you find is it different between games? How much is streaming from your servers and creating traffic, which has a hosting cost behind it, and how much is going on inside the browser on the user side? And does that vary widely between games? Do you find different developers have different approaches and results?
Do you mean in terms of what gets computed where, or?
Yeah, and the traffic involved,
Yeah, so most of the content is downloaded from our websites when you open the website, from our servers when you open the website, and there's a lot of communication going on between our back end and front end. If you are using services like leaderboards or friends lists, things like that, and we have quite a, well, I'd say we have a lot of traffic, but and it hasn't been an issue right now that we have like a huge issue with the server, but eventually once we scale, we obviously need to like switch to something like a CDN that dynamically delivers
So
data.
the individual games host themselves. You just point to them, so you're not responsible for actually managing the infrastructure. You host the games,
them on our servers,
Okay.
All
the
everything.
games are okay.
But to put it in perspective, we host everything. The computation is done on the client side. But we have over 100,000 monthly users, and still our coffee costs exceed our server costs manifold. So even scaling up 10 times wouldn't meet our coffee costs.
Okay, good to know. Yeah.
So that means you're drinking a lot of coffee.
And there's priorities.
But if you scale up,
We're
coffee costs
developers,
as well,
we
right?
have
Like,
to.
yeah.
Where are most of your users based?
United States.
Yeah. Is that's do you find any tendencies in growing in Europe, or you just is there any future in captivating audience in Europe or in Latin America, for example, or is the United States kind of the design future of the target audience for Construct?
No, it's definitely no focus in the United States. Right now, our main user base is there. So when thinking about currencies, we are offering coins in dollars rather than euro, obviously. But we want Construct Arcade to be accessible for everyone. It's device independent. You don't need a $1,000 Valve Index and a $2,500 computer and so on. You just need the most basic headset. We have some games that are playable with cardboard. And we don't want any location restrictions or anything. Anyone can play with anyone from anywhere with any headset. That's our most important principle.
Open XR.
But we want to expand, obviously, in Europe and Latin America and Asia, everywhere.
What other stats have you seen from your users? Is the most used headset Quest and things like this, or?
Most definitely, by far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who are they?
And then the shipping rates.
How about age-wise?
It's pretty hard to get clear user stats from the Quest. I mean, Facebook has a lot of information, but they are not too happily about sharing them. So we don't get clear stats because people don't use the Quest for normal browsing, and you can't get any correlations there easily. So it's hard to say. From the users we are interacting with, it's a pretty wide range from teenagers to people discovering VR in an age where my parents are, who don't even own smartphones.
Did you have any idea? I guess you kind of answered part of this since you're not able to get much data on them. But do you have any idea what, who's more likely to purchase the add-ons?
That would be people in their 20s and 30s mostly.
20s and 30s.
Can I do it around the whole thing? Oh, I can.
Yeah. Whole thing.
Sorry, come again?
It's okay. Background noise.
Right now, most of our traffic actually
it's one of the few good
from
things about App Labs
USA.
is you get all the stats and things. You know, that's something.
Right. Yeah. That's true.
You have to generate your own by your own ecosystem, but that's it's certainly a good path. Yeah.
WebXR is also something that's not as defined as native VR, and there's a lot of like tools and developers still not there. Like the amount of people who could be potential developing WebXR is a lot higher than the ones that are, and that potential will likely be closed once the tools are there and once monetization is stable enough so that people can actually make money from their games. So we are also like working closely together with Wonderland Engine, which is WebXR based game engine. It's been developed by my business partner, and he focuses it basically to make the similar experience creating experiences as you have in Unity for WebXR. Because the WebXR export from Unity
is exactly what we were talking about yesterday.
Very performance intensive and not very optimized. Yeah.
Wait, so what do you think will set the trend or the expectation for how WebXR apps in the future will make their money? Like, do you think VR developers coming from VR dev expecting to pay for application and games will come to WebVR and also be able to pay through systems like the ones you're building? Or do you think people will come to it thinking of it like as, oh, these are websites, these are browsers, and expecting everything to be free, like any medium has this opportunity to sort of set up the expectation, right? Like, do you think this will be different for WebXR?
I think it's still the web, so people will always have this expectation of initially it being free. There's the aspect that people, people still pay for games on the web, they just don't pay for the initial price. So that's why we've chosen to go with microtransactions. We haven't built it out completely. I think that's something that needs to be determined on per game basis. And we're still trying to figure out what the optimal pathway is to monetization, so that we can share that with our developers and have documentation saying, okay, if you want to monetize your game, this is what we recommend, this is what we have experienced, and this is the know-how we've gathered from the data we've gathered and from the experience that previous developers have had, and so on. And we are developing like games that use monetization in a different way in the upcoming games. So currently I can't like tell kids.
Makes the live avatar class play.
And he was very anxious about it. And then he went into the gift. That's the experience.
Yeah, it's not solely for me.
He went through the exercise, and when he came out,
Sorry,
he
go
was
ahead.
completely changed about his perception about
Is
the
that
meeting.
just for the
Before
Unix
it was
or also
frightening,
for the others?
Now it was actually a gift
This
and an
game?
opportunity. And then he went go into the
This
meeting
game's
in
on the
real
Oculus
life,
Quest and
he's
also
actually
on
performing
Steam.
better. And he create win-win outcomes in this really stressful meetings.
What was kind of your inspiration for the game?
And we've got a good
How'd you
bunch
come up
of
with the
stories
idea?
just like that in other areas of life.
So
And I
there's
think
quite a lot of
that's really
different
exciting.
elements
Go
to
into
it, but
VR and you can change
the
your
gameplay
perception about
itself,
something and go out and create better outcomes
there's a
in your life,
few
whatever that
main
could be.
things.
And our test results are
Mainly,
pretty
I was trying to create a
staggeringly
juggling
impressive. It's,
simulator,
on average,
and
people
I'd created a
increase
few
their
prototypes.
well-being with
They're all
54%
available
on
for
a
free,
particular
actually,
topic.
but
Yeah,
they
afraid
were
of
definitely
something,
just
they are
prototypes. They're
54%
on
less
MATLAB and
on
stuff.
average
But
afraid of
I was
whatever
interested
it
in
is.
being able to like juggle or
Yeah,
create a sense
94%
of
of
juggling or a
people, they
game
actually
based
get
on
benefits
juggling
out of the 18
in
people who
VR.
have
But
tested with
turns
me.
out juggling is
So
really
yeah,
difficult
it's an exciting journey. It's, also
in
very
reality
new,
and also in
feel
VR.
free.
The
So
learning curve is really difficult
being
to
here
control,
around
even if you
awesome people like you
reduce
and just
gravity
talking
and stuff.
about it is really exciting, 'cause they don't
So
get to
this
do that
game
a
really
lot.
pares down
Yeah, that's definitely I
kind
think,
of
the
juggling
awesome thing about
inspiration,
Spatial
but
Ape is
into a game
growing this,
mechanic
like,
in
community of
VR,
just
where
people
now
that
you've
are,
just
like,
got two
doing
balls
all kinds of
and
stuff
they're
in VR.
rotating around
Yeah,
at
like, we
constant
can all
speed.
talk to each other
And the kind of
about
beautiful
VR
topology
stuff
that
a
you
little
get
bit more
juggling
easily because like, yeah,
is
everybody knows how
rather
this
than
works that's
that
here,
happening
so
in time
it
in
makes it
front
a
of
lot
you,
easier.
it
But yeah, let's talk
through
about
space
like the
through
meat and
these
potatoes as opposed to like
shapes.
so what's a
And
headset? What's VR?
that creates
I don't
quite
know.
a
Where you usually are.
It's also very similar to
exactly.
a game
I
called
just came out of a
Kurokuri.
playtest with my,
Came out on the Game Boy Advance a
new
long
playtester
time
that's
ago.
new to Oculus, but really wanted to try it.
Like in the
And
early
so she was like,
2000s.
"Oh, how do- what's a
And
human
that game you
friend,
have to
control
sort of
upside down, right? That
there's a
was
spinning bar
But
and
she
you
got
have
a
to
lot of
guide
value
it
out
through a
of it.
maze without touching the edge.
anyway.
So that's probably the
Yeah,
most
so that's
similar
what I
game
do. Done
mechanic
that for a year
that
now.
I've seen.
Just bootstrapped it.
Yeah.
And then so
What
we're in
gave
the
you
lab process now,
the
getting
idea to
approved
kind of go for
and
this
then,
psychedelic
hopefully
aesthetic?
we'll get in the store and then
That
make some
just-
sales and help
well,
people feel
I've
better in VR.
Yeah,
mainly
that's great.
because
That's a great,
when I was
that's
young,
great.
I used to
That's
take
awesome.
a lot of
Awesome path to be on.
things like that. So,
And, yeah,
so
how
I'm
many
very
people are you
interested.
guys,
But
at
also,
where
you know, I'm
you
just
are?
interested in this kind of
There's
psychedelic.
like 5 of us right now.
Yeah,
we work with
okay.
some
I
like
agree. I think
contractors.
it's really cool
We don't.
aesthetic.
None
I
of,
think
most of us
especially
aren't
in VR,
full-time currently because we're
it
still
hasn't been
trying
taken
to
advantage enough.
build
of.
to a place where we can get funded.
There's this whole
like,
opportunity with
building
VR
the
to
games
do
to show people
really
how to
sort
do
of
the
trippy
things.
out there visuals.
Yeah.
And I mean, a lot of people have,
we're
explored
small,
that,
but I think
that space, I think, a little
got
bit.
a good
but,
team that's built a couple of things
yeah,
together.
it's
at
definitely
this point,
something
which
I've
is
wanted
good,
to
so we've got a
dig
Especially when it
into.
comes to puzzle games, I don't think
synergy
it's.
going on.
I'm gonna have to definitely check
hopefully
this
it's all
out.
about,
It looks pretty
as we can
interesting.
get
But I think
more,
for the puzzle
more
game
funding,
genre,
Hey,
especially in
how's it going,
VR,
Dustin? Hey.
the psychedelic
Howdy.
aesthetic
How's it
is
going?
not taken
Good.
advantage
Nikolai
of enough.
made it
you
in.
know?
I made it in. Yeah, you saw my text, right?
Yeah, completely agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I love games
That's
that-
just a reset away
Oh, go
from
ahead.
getting here, right?
What's that, sorry?
I was just gonna say,
Yeah.
have you heard of? There was a game a long time ago called Antichamber.
Dustin, how's I don't know if you're.
That was like a
talking about
really
this, but
interesting
progress
puzzle
been
game.
going?
No, I've not heard of that one.
Yeah, it's definitely a cool one to
That's
check
good.
out in terms of the
We've
aesthetic.
started to open
and
up.
the style
That's a
of it.
classic,
Especially
yeah.
with Nikolai.
Yeah.
The non-Euclidean one, yeah.
Yeah,
alpha
I feel like
testing to a couple of
non-Euclidean
people
games
now
are
just to start getting early impressions.
due
which
in
is
VR.
good.
Sweet. That's
So
awesome.
we're in
There's a few.
refinement
There's
mode,
a few.
which
Looks
is
interesting.
nice.
Oh, really?
Also, as people bring up stuff, it adds more
Yeah,
work to the back end.
I mean, there's an app by
I love that.
Spatial
We're
Ape
narrowing
Traverse,
down.
Okay,
which is
so let's
like
pop
a
out so we can hear better.
walking
But
game,
I think you get the
it's
idea.
basically
So
Walk forever.
that's really been helpful.
And you got
for
spatial
like,
audio as well. So,
you know kind of what to expect.
how does
Yes.
that
So
work?
I
I take
competitive
oh,
analysis
right.
the traversal one. That's
So,
quite an
like
interesting
with Red Room,
concept.
I
Trying
take
out
it.
some of the other stuff. Like,
You would give
carrier command
me,
2
Matt,
just
once
dropped
before,
there,
right?
like
Like,
guest
VR mode.
priority
That
mics
was
they can be
really
heard
interesting
in any
to see,
range.
like
Seemed
Hey, that
seemed
game
the same
coming back
idea.
and
It's
being
also
like
like
a
free
naval
walking,
strategy
but then
with,
also
like,
using non-Euclidean sort of geometry.
trying
So
similar-ish
we're working on that
concepts,
still. I mean,
also,
right
like,
now
the
how
fact
it works
that
is
they-
basically.
And then
I'm gonna say last minute
in terms of the
install
psychedelic
Basically right now the
visual type
podcast
thing,
is
there's, I
based
don't know
on
if you're
that.
aware
And we
of
just
this
position the
subreddit
camera like
called
appropriately.
Reflected
But what we've done
Mind.
is develop these little
Come
zones.
across
So you see
that?
the little blue
Oh,
ring
sounds
over there
fun.
on the
Subreddit,
ground.
it's
the VR
a
definitely
smallish
feels like an
community, but it's basically
So when you go in
people
that blue
who
ring,
like
it's
to combine
non-spatial. It becomes like a radio
psychedelic
channel.
visuals
call
and
it.
VR,
And it's like a little private
and so
chat.
there's a big sort of
And
mega
so
list
potentially
of
what we can do is
games
put
and
one of those in your
experiences
booth so that everyone can be
not
heard.
re- I mean,
fit
the
that
other one was,
category.
And then everyone, the
the
guests,
one
like
that
become muted by
came out not
default,
too
but then
long
can
ago on
unmute
iOS.
and
It's
been on
join
my
the
to-do list
conversation.
to
But what I'm trying to say,
Eternal
so
some
I'll-
sort of
Light, I
VR
think?
experience with the
is what it's called.
psychedelic aesthetic.
How
Yeah,
does
so right now you
why
don't hear
can't-
them.
It's
but
on main store.
Yeah.
It's a
how would
space
that work
strategy
for
game.
Sicilians, for example?
Did you make
But it's
those
very
moves
much
off Unity?
at least
So-
I played like the first. I don't know.
This is
I mean,
made
the
in
thing
Unity,
is,
yeah.
no
Yeah.
one's
Very much
really
about,
like
like,
interrupting
controlling
people
one
because
unit
everyone
from, like,
becomes
I feel like it could've
socially
been-
vetted
Yeah.
coming through side
Get-
quests,
get
side
those
loading,
visuals running
and all
on
But it is
developers.
cool. Like
The
it's,
people are
it's well
super
done in some
respectful of the
ways.
stage.
It's like a roguelike.
We don't really
Seems like
have
something
like
really
content
intense.
at
Yeah.
that point.
Similar
I
to
did.
like,
I did
but
spend like
we haven't
a
opened
good
the
couple
other
of
everyone
months
else.
to make
Yeah,
it work
certainly could.
at 120
I'm
hertz.
saying,
It's pretty
Um,
brutal.
on
It
Quest.
really.
I know
I
what you're
played
saying.
it.
Okay.
Because the first couple
Yeah.
missions
It's pretty
Yeah.
intense
Well,
visuals. Like, but I mean, the key here is that the only polygons in the whole game
Yeah.
are the
And
are really
It's
just
really cool,
one
though.
shape,
It
and
definitely
it's an
saw
organic
what
shape
I
that I
can
can
see
put
it's another,
all
like,
kind of all 50,000 or all 20,000 vertices into this one shape. But that's one thing. And then in terms of the shader, it looks really complicated. It's got this kind of like refractive effect going on. There's this and that sort of
It's
stuff.
cool. It's cool.
But there are ways to do that
Is
actually
your
surprisingly
alpha version
simply.
You can kick them out and then they
So
can.
that's quite.
Yeah, you can.
It's
Yeah,
quite.
exactly.
Yeah, I think I came up with some nifty tricks. Well, most of them aren't my tricks. I just researched some good tricks
so we would
to
create,
be able
for
to.
example, I mean,
Does it have
this one,
something to do with the environment being like
very
pretty
theoretical
simple
right
and
now,
static?
and also
Like so you can
requires
do
a lot
like
of
some
custom
hacks
stuff
like
that
using
you're not going to get a lot
what's
of
it called,
bang for your
reflection
buck
Yeah,
out
we
of
can do it
like
dedicated
this
ways.
instead of
And you see kind of like
actually
around
like refracting
different
what
zones
you're
that are
looking
dedicated
for.
to different things.
Yeah.
So the way it works is there's no
And we would basically
reflection
play
code.
and say
There's
that
just
they're
there's
enjoying
a
your
there's an
logo and your
additional
color, and it
camera
tells us a lot that,
which
yeah,
is
we made a
on
good
your
single
head as
player
well
space
that's
that
looking
you
out,
enjoy.
but it only it
We
has a
did add
color
in the
mask so
versus
it only
AI
sees the
too.
background.
Definitely. I'm gonna go
The
check out some of
background
the
is an
Yeah,
extremely
of course.
simple,
Good meeting you.
Nice to
just a
meet you,
sphere
man.
with a very low polygon count, and it's got a very simple unlit
Coming up again.
Yeah.
See you around.
Yeah.
texture shader,
Okay,
so
well,
it really
we
doesn't.
would. I'd love to test it out if you ever have another test.
And then I
run.
render it out to a very low
Oh yeah, absolutely.
resolution
You guys,
render
you guys
texture,
have certainly
which is
on
then
the list.
used
plan to build out a
I think
platform.
shader on the
probably
Squingle
close
shape,
to the point where we're ready to start making
back surface
kind of like
to
side
do
by
the
side.
So we'll definitely reach
refractive
out
effect.
once you're.
And to do that refractive effect, you just have to sort of multiply these by some combination
Yeah,
of
wait, actually, let's pop
the
into this
normals
little
of
blue circle over here.
Yeah, so we started
the
an
angle between
agency about
the
5
viewing
years
direction
ago,
and the
like
normal
an
on
XR
the
software
mesh,
agency.
and then you can
And
warp
so that's how this
the
all gets
background in
funded. So
however you like,
we're not too
and so
too
you can
worried
give
about
it
money
a
at
sort
the
of
moment.
refractive effect.
Nice.
It's
Do
not
you look like that?
physically accurate refraction, but
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
you know, it
actually,
doesn't really
yes.
matter for the
Not the
aesthetic.
sexy
No,
bit,
no, of
but,
course.
No,
Ah, that's
I'm
really
not
smart.
spiky thriller stuff either.
The effect is really good.
Yeah. I do have.
And it
I
runs
guess
at
the
120
benefit.
hertz. So.
Well, it does run at 120 hertz, yeah,
That's good.
which
I'm
is.
just going to have a look around then, if that's all right.
but
Yeah, go for it.
satisfying
I'll
to
wanna
play
Nice to
with.
meet you.
Now I've sort of jumped in.
How's your marketing journey going, Ben?
I'll start a chat. With
That's a great question because that's what I'd love to ask all you guys about. I've been reading everything I can about Cubism's success and trying to figure out how I can kind of.
Don't ask me marketing questions because I also am absolutely clueless. It's what helps for me is just like I've been working on it very long and very slowly because I started in 2017, so I think it just
Mhm.
it made it easier for me
in
to
the
like
realm
build
of
it
the
up a little
podcast,
bit.
it was up there. So it's
You
just a
know,
lot of
Yeah,
work.
through
no, totally.
You know what I mean?
posting on Twitter and Reddit and stuff. But that's
Yeah, man.
there's
And the
cool.
thing about
So
the
not really
podcast
much
is, like,
other
we're-
than I can really
it's
tell
kind of
you.
like a
Like
new
how to
feature
market a
us,
game
like
these
maybe a
days
month
might be
ago,
different
launching
from
podcasts,
when I
and
did
so like
it. So
we want to
it's-
like
it's a
collaborate
difficult
with you
question.
to
I
just
think
push
it's
it
probably
as far
different
as it
for
can go,
every
'cause
game
I think there's
developer
so
out
much cool stuff you
for
can
every
do in
game,
terms
like,
of producing a live event.
can be different and success can
Like, yeah,
vary,
like
so.
for example.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that
is
Lissy,
like
the other
developer.
booth presenter who's not here at the moment, but I saw her on the same roster for presenting today, and I saw she was in marketing, so I kind of nabbed her, and we had a call earlier today, and to talk about her marketing things. But I'm kind of thinking about who I can work with to do more on the marketing side. So I think I might go down that route of working with someone, because I built up all this great expectations, and on the one hand, on release day on the 15th of July, which was just less than a month ago, I was on this absolute high because we had some really great reviews, and the user reviews that came in, they've all been 5-star reviews on the App Lab, which has been great, and thumbs up reviews on Steam. So I was super high that the game had been validated by the audience, but then on the other hand, I was really disappointed with how many people were actually buying the game. So then I realized that being successful with a game is not just about creating a game, it's also a long journey of hard work in terms of outreach, communication, talking to people. So I've really tried to build relationships. I'm not very, don't really have a huge online persona as such, I guess. So that's definitely been a learning experience for me. But I've been trying to reach out to individual editors at the major VR news websites like Upload VR and Road to VR and stuff, trying to build some relationship with them. But so far we haven't got the attention of the major English language news websites, which is so I really want that to happen. So yeah, my plan at the moment is to sort of obviously chip away at, like you've said, with Reddit and Twitter and things, but then also I'm working on the next kind of content release, trying to listen to as much as possible to feedback and build that into the next kind of content release, and then hopefully upscale a little bit on the trailer and stuff as well. I think I want to build a new trailer, so I've been talking to some people about that, and trying to create something that has that professional sheen that a media outlet would jump on. But yeah, it's definitely not an obvious thing to me. So I'm open to learning from you guys, definitely.
It depends from trailer to trailer, but I think it always helps a little bit to show some real life footage. Or mixed reality footage, or something that
some VR meetups,
so people immediately know this is a VR game, we put on VR to play this, and to show sort of how the main interactions work, not only through gameplay, but then through how are those interactions done in real life, even if they're simple ones like this one, right? I think that's usually very effective to pull people in and sort of get them to click, okay, this is the medium and this is the game, and
that would stay here for like a week.
You might look at this and maybe think that, maybe it's like a PlayStation game, or like a regular PC VR game.
So you'll have your own booth,
it's part of being in VR and
so
experiencing that world and that trippiness that makes it an experience, right? Really selling that this is a VR experience can maybe help a little bit.
Could you have, for example?
Yeah. I guess that's just when you start doing live action stuff, unless you film it yourself, the price starts to get quotes from like American companies, which
because
the trailers.
So I work in this co-working space. There's like a bunch of different people there, and there was one guy who does like videography and whatever, and like he just has the equipment, right? And it's a WeWork, so like they dress up the space quite nicely and stuff. So for the trailer for Cubism, we remodeled one of the corners of the office to look a bit like a living room. Then I hired this guy who brought like his nice lights and stuff like this. The guy who's in the original trailer is actually the guy who runs the the videographer basically. There was like perfect. You have glasses, good. You can be in the trailer. It cost them like 200.
So that's the only bit I'm worried about. That I feel like I'd say to be honest, you want to come on the show and watch it. Like, how many people?
You don't have to go super
say
high.
Say that's my area with our table and stuff.
Because usually you'll only need like 5-10 seconds.
Yeah, I mean that's awesome to hear, and that's a really good idea. I think to circumvent the high prices
great.
at the moment.
That's really
Because-
good.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
it shouldn't be too much of a
like, you
problem,
get these
especially if
quotes
you're in
and
your own time slot.
it'll
when
be
you're not,
like,
conflicting
okay,
with the other booths.
$1,000
think
if you
50 is
want
reasonable.
this, and
It's
another
really-
1,000
the
for
Quest
this,
is
and
like-
another 1,000 for
like,
this, and like.
I would say one
it's,
in
uh,
10 developers
but
tell us
whereas
that
doing
they
it a
don't
bit
wanna
more
come because
DIY,
they don't have a Quest. Like almost
that you see
when it comes to,
here
like,
was
developers,
done
almost everyone
through
has
just
one.
I agree.
you know,
I
a single
agree.
person
Yeah.
video.
The Quest is
I
where it's
provided
at
all the
at the end of
assets
the
and
day.
video, and then he did it for, you know, it was
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
$600 total.
man.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a pretty
Nice.
good deal.
Yeah, I'm just having a
Appreciate you
look
coming
around.
in.
and
So
stuff.
yeah, I mean, it was really
thank
good.
you
Yeah,
for
please
So
do.
inviting me.
I don't really want
Your
to spend
hands on the floor.
$5,000 on a
Yeah, I
trailer.
got dead
It's, I mean, if you have access to like Premiere or some editing software, it's not too hard to like pick up and learn a little bit off. I think to just like cut it yourself. Like it's definitely one of these things where you can sort of save some costs. I think. Yeah. I mean, yeah, if you have a little bit of experience with it, but still, it's. I mainly learned Premiere through like making some of these trailers.
It's true.
So you can very purpose-drivenly learn just what you need to learn to build something like that. I think.
I mean, think about what you really need in the end, because I think for a VR game like this, the reaction of the user is the main thing. And even if it's just two reactions, that someone has having glasses on, dropping something and being disappointed, and very happy when they, whatever kind of made the challenge. If you just have this filmed by mobile phone, whatever, and real good footage that's, is corresponding to that, I think that's enough to see how it works and where the fun is, basically. And
True, yeah.
for editing, I mean, take DaVinci Resolve. You can download it for free, the beta version. It's a very professional editing software, really easy to use. We have a lot of YouTube videos about that. So you can definitely do that by yourself. I'm quite sure about that.
Yeah, the last trailer I made was with an iPhone, actually, so so it is possible.
Yeah, I think I like the point especially about communicating the emotional experience and the VR being outside. Having someone, even just putting, like on your trailer, remember that, someone puts on their headset and then, and then you're there and everything like that. And I think that's a really nice, nice point.
Yeah, Ben, what we did here at Horizon Mind, we made a virtual reality healing therapy game. And we're super bootstrapped. Been doing it for a year. And what we did was we actually, because we can't see our real playtesters, so we have them on Zoom. And then we just record their experience. And then we basically just have a clip where they put on the headset, they go in, and then they play the game. And then we see some of their live motions and just from a Zoom recording, which was super scrappy.
I'm good, you?
But then we showed the clip in game and then out of game, and we didn't have like what you had, Thomas.
This is really cool.
Wherever you are, but I think that worked really well for us to at least communicate what people felt. And at the end, we actually had testimonials.
Yes.
People were talking about how this was amazing.
They do these every week. Yeah.
Of course, your emotional.
The audio was a bit. Whoa.
That's maybe where
look at my avatar in here. Do you see the
having wow?
Yes.
Whatever.
It's like an oil painting thing.
Pretty unique for every game, but I think those emotional anchors would put in there as well.
How did you
I think
hear
this
about
game.
the meetup?
I actually just downloaded it.
But I was invited.
Didn't know
today
you were gonna.
because,
But this is this is awesome.
Again.
I'm gonna try this later today.
And I wanted to be obviously
awesome. Thanks very much. Yeah.
We're getting VR Trend magazine.
Yeah, there's I mean, the
so
demo
it's
is
got, like,
completely free to
indie
download.
And looking at this,
But how many people are you guys
this looks
developing
like we
this?
can take it a little bit further than just an interview. We can have
it's
a whole
it's
booth
basically
in a
just
game,
me, but
I
I did hire someone to do the sound.
No, exactly.
A friend of mine, Kai Jones, and the sound's been getting really, really good feedback, and I'm really, really extremely pleased with how he did that, and it fits the game really well. So I really recommend him if anyone needs music made. He's very reasonable. And then I had help. Someone did the 3D model for the main character in the game.
Yeah,
the animation of the
nicer
character.
than tweets.
And I had someone early on help program the UI at the beginning. But apart from that, it's just me.
Wow, that's
How about
pretty
sound
impressive.
effect? You said you've got the an audio track in the background, but it looks like there'll be a lot of sound effects at the same time. Is that in the same? I'd love to hear what it sounds like, actually.
Absolutely right. Yeah, no, absolutely. Get involved. I mean, a big philosophy of the game is to the audio-visual stuff really connecting, sort of like synesthesia, and the going along with the trippy theme. And so he did all the sound effects as well. Like when you die, when you hit stuff, when you collect things, when you hit the goal.
Nice. Yeah, 'cause that's a lot of feedback. Looks like there's a lot going on.
I wanted to ask, how's your involvement with like Oculus? Did you join Starts and things like this, or?
Yeah, I followed your advice. In fact, joined Oculus.
Nice.
Thanks for that.
It's Oculus Start program. Yeah. So what I love is the Discord group on that, because people are quite friendly. You can build a community. I've made a few friends on there and like actually met them online and had chats with them. Especially the guy who's in a small team that's made the City of Retropolis. So they basically released their game, I think the same day as mine. So going through a similar sort of marketing experience. That's really valuable.
That guy's they've been in touch with me as well. But they did really well. I hope I see that like some people from Oculus were also interacting with their launch and stuff. Especially Rita from the Star program. I think it's usually a good sign if she's like, retweeting you and stuff like this. Because I think she's sort of an internal champion for like Start games, going from like Atlas to.
Well, that sounds like really good insider knowledge.
Just so you know.
Yeah, I mean, I tried kind of like reaching out after the launch to one of the guys on the Start and sort of pitching like, can we go on the Oculus Store kind of thing, trying to carefully word it in a way that was, championing the good response we got from media and various things. But they basically came back and said, we really want to see more users in your game before you do another pitch or like do a proper pitch to the store. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm like, well, how do I do that then? Get more users.
Right. Well, have you seen how's it been on Steam? Because there you have a demo and a paid game, right? Like, do you see a lot of people going to the demo and trying it out? Like, it's a bit of a lower barrier of entry, right?
Yeah, the demo on Steam's been downloaded like 3,000 times in the last week, which is pretty. I think that's quite nice. Although it hasn't really converted into people converting to the full game. But I mean, to some extent, I'm not too worried about. I mean, I'm very happy people are playing the game and getting some of the experience. So, and if they don't like the game enough to buy the game, then that's also fine, kind of thing. It's nice people are playing it.
Yeah.
But obviously, I want it to be a commercial success as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you think that depends also on the pricing? I don't know how high it is at the moment.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm definitely a bit insecure about is the price point. I kind of like consulted a PR company that I hired to do the press release on the price, and they agreed the price was good. So I kind of went into it thinking, being really confident, and then as soon as it hit and sales were a bit lackluster, and I saw a few comments on like the Reddit App Lab page that it's too expensive or something. So it's currently on App Lab.
What is the price point
Everyone
right
wants
now?
a game for free, man. Everyone wants a game for free. Don't forget that.
Sure.
I get commented every day, is this free? Is this free? Yeah, so.
Yeah.
How much does it cost right now?
So it's $20 on App Lab.
Okay.
Which I think
what is
most
that
people
in
think
comparison
is
to
too much.
most App Lab games?
So, I mean, the way I priced it was I looked at what's on the store and then decided to pitch it in the middle of what I thought was good value based on the store. Because I figured that, it's easier to put your price down than it is to put it up to some extent. So, and ultimately I want to aim for the main platform. So I think it would, I guess you could probably jump your price up when you go from App Lab to the main store if you get to the main store. So maybe that's what I should have done. But
it's never too late, man. It's never too late.
It's well, I think I'm gonna on Steam. I'll take advantage of the sales or whatever. I've got a couple of thousand of
oh, you was on
Steam
Next
wish
Fest.
lists, but yeah, I was on Next Fest. Yeah.
Yes, I remember that was excellent. Next Fest. Is there another one happening as well? Isn't there soon? I think.
I suspect I think they do it every 6 months.
Oh right, yeah, that was good. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really critical because it gave a lot of exposure to the game that wouldn't have otherwise. I got
missed
just
it,
as many
unfortunately.
wish
I don't know
lists
how.
during that period than I did at launch. So if you're, definitely make advantage of that. Sorry, were you going to say something?
Where is he
Robert,
going?
are you traversing right now?
Yeah, Avatar just did the moonwalk.
Yeah. No, I was just thinking about price point is for sure very hard to determine when you just release the game, and I guess if one would try to first see how much playtime would be normal for someone, if you have a huge adventure game where you maybe in multiplayer connected a long time and you're staying in there for hours because you have interconnection and stuff like that, I guess that people will spend more money on that just because they have the feeling, well, I'm using it a lot more. If it's a game that is more on a 1 hour, half an hour base 3 times a week, I think they will, even if the game is better, because gaming is a very individual thing, but I think they would value I'm not using it so much, so I'm not paying too much for that. So I think this is one of the points.
Yeah, I think that's definitely, I think it's good feedback.
Also,
yeah.
to the point of raising your price versus lowering, I wonder if it's going to be more of a trend for VR games to start raising their price, because it does seem to be that a lot of games on the store have a long tail of development, and we are seeing some games that are jumping up their price as they're updating the game, right? Like Pistol Whip is going to raise their price from 25
They
to 30.
are, yeah,
if I'm not
that's right,
mistaken,
yeah.
And then Walls of the Wizard went from 10 with their big update, and
So,
it seems to be more of a trend that oh, go for it.
I was going to say, sorry about my voice, by the way. I'm not very well at the moment. I went to Ubisoft at the launch of Space Junkies, and he told me the price point. And because they were Ubisoft, they were like, "Yeah, we're going in at $40."
Yeah.
It wasn't received very well at all.
Right.
On PSVR anyway. It's funny enough, games at launch on PSVR were reasonably priced. Then there was 6 months to a year where everything seemed really expensive, and then it went down again, and it's not really risen since then. A lot of games are if anyone tries to put a game over $30, people want to know why. You know what I'm saying? So at the moment, VR's in a strange place where if you put $4.99, this is in dollars, on a game, a lot of people would just pick it up. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, $5 is it doesn't really matter too much," or even anything below that, you could probably sell more. Obviously, that's not what you want to hear, but when you get to $10, they're like, "Oh, what are other people thinking?" And then when you get above $10, they're like, "I need to see a review." And that's the hard bit, A lot of people under a $5, they call it a no-brainer. They're like, "Well, it's only a $5." Doing a demo as well, does your demo show all your mechanics really in that time? I personally haven't played it, so
Yeah, so the demo takes about 10 minutes or maybe 15 minutes to complete, and it kind of does quite a good job of showing off what the game is about and the core mechanics, and tries to sort of give a bit of a reveal at the end kind of thing. And I've thought quite heavily about how the demo communicates the game to the player, and also hopefully gives them a sense that they want to play more.
Yeah.
The actual game itself probably takes about 5 hours to complete the first time if you're quite good at gaming. But then I'd say it's also got quite a lot of replay value because there's quite a lot of stuff to do in the game.
It's beautiful as well. It looks like multiplayer.
Yeah. I feel like probably if I'd gone in at, say, half the price, I would have probably sold more than twice as many. And then, you know, it would have solved that problem of getting more users, which would then be more attractive to Oculus potentially. So I feel hindsight's definitely a bitch sometimes.
I always think a really good way of like introducing a new price is actually exactly what Pistol Whip is to actually hold back content or invent content later on down the line and go, this is the reason. Like, this is the reason. You can't just put a price up. Do you know what I'm saying? So it looks like you're investing in it as well. And then with that lower price, you've got a player base already. You might have a Discord. You might have people talking about it. But it looks really good. It looks really good.
Yeah, it looks awesome. That's the point. Definitely. I mean, sometimes maybe you have to be mean in a way. Like, you know, in a game, and you really have a game mechanics where people are working towards a point, and if they're just using the demo and the big end boss is coming to you, you just have to stop the game and say, if you want to play that to the end, you will have to pay or stuff like that. I mean, it's getting them hooked. It's really getting this the mechanics adopted and fun with it, and then they need to have the loss to say, oh crap, now I cannot go on because I did not buy it.
Do you remember games that used to have timers, demo timers, and then if the timer ran out, you had to purchase the game for it to carry? I don't know how that would be received these days, but I remember that.
Yeah.
This might be a really naive thing to say, but I feel like it's the kind of game that it'll attract a certain type of audience, and I feel like that audience that it attracts will be quite sort of a hardcore fan base, like people that will really like it, and then for many other people, you know, it might not be quite their cup of tea and they'll just avoid it. Having said that, you know, I have tried to make it friendly for as wide an audience as possible, and you know, I'm definitely going to do, as you say, do a sort of major content update. So I mean, the main things I'm trying to do is, with the content update, is I'm going to create a sort of casual mode, which is more like an accessibility mode that basically removes the difficulty of the game, which kind of undermines the game to a large extent. But I find that for some people, for quite a big proportion of people, the normal difficulty is already still too difficult. And so I want a game that, if you're tripping really hard, or if you're a child, or if you're completely naive to VR and you've picked up this game because it just looks really interesting, I want you to be able to access the game as well. So,
do you know what it reminds me of? Like a visual equalizer for sound. So, can you play like your own music and the stuff vibrates to like your own music?
So it's interesting you say that, because so like a previous project I was involved with was called Crystal Vibes, which is basically like a music visualizer in virtual reality. So it does similar sort of trippy visuals, but it converts sound frequencies into color directly, so that it's much more of a sort of synesthesia based thing. And so, you know, there is some history of that, but not in this game. That music visualizer algorithm is not in this game.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think the idea of having the game be, or at least have the ability to have the game be super easy for certain people, is a really good idea. Just being able to experience it and then wanting to get better at it is something like I play In Death Unchained, and I'm not good at it. I've been playing for months, and I only play the defend the castle part of it. I can't even think about doing the real game, but I'm having a blast, and all I'm playing is the defend the castle part. So I could see where you're saying if you were good at this, you could play it in 5 or 6 hours. Again, I could probably play this for months and not beat it. But if I'm having a good time at it, then it doesn't matter. So having that ability for somebody, especially because of the shifting demographics in the virtual reality world of new users and people who aren't gamers, traditional gamers, it would seem like that would be a really good thing to have for this.
Yeah, I think one of the key selling points of the game is its visual aesthetic, and some people. There's one person in particular who's come to me, and he seeks out these kind of psychedelic VR experiences, but he said, he's not really interested in being challenged in a game. He just wants to sort of go through it. So, the ability to go through and see all the levels and environments and much challenge, I think, could be quite an enabler for different audiences. Yeah.
It reminds me a lot of Kabibo style. Do you know the developer?
Yeah, that's same as Isaac Cohen is the same person as Kabibo.
Right. Yes.
He did Blarp and...
Yeah, that's the game I was trying to... Yeah.
Yeah.
And a bunch of visual stuff, right?
Yeah, and he's got a huge exhibit in the Museum of Other Realities.
That's right.
Yeah, he's super interesting guy. He's done an awful lot of stuff with sign distance functions as well, which also are iridescent and kind of funky looking. Also a big inspiration behind this game, because I initially wanted to do something with sign distance functions directly for rendering, but they're a little bit too outside of the power of the Quest.
Right.
So this is kind of a halfway house of using sign distance functions to create meshes, and they're also used in the physics of the game.
Oh, interesting. Really? In your game?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so these shapes are all made of basically a sign distance function made of primitives of spheres and Bezier curves. The maths of the Bezier curve sign distance function was figured out by that IQ, or whatever his name is. He's quite famous in the sort of demo scene world. And then once you've got this sign distance function, it basically tells you the distance to the surface of the shape from anywhere in 3D space. And then there are algorithms which you can use to convert that surface into a mesh, which is what Glakesals does, which is a plugin for Unity, which I use to do this. But you can also use that distance function. Glakesals. It's pretty interesting.
Right.
It's by the guy who made the game that just came out recently on Oculus Quest called A Rogue Escape. He's the same person who's made that.
Oh, I get that.
Interesting coincidence, yeah. And so yeah, because you know the distance to the surface, I use that for the physics, because you can just take any point in 3D space and you know how far it is away from the surface. So if it goes outside of the shape, it goes from a negative number to a positive number. And I can also take the differential of that to then calculate like a force, which you can feel like when you press the balls against the edge of the tube, it's kind of like springy, and you feel the haptics, and you feel there's some resistance, and the shape kind of morphs a bit like jelly or something. And all of that is done, the physics is done with the sign distance function.
Oh, okay. And also you have the easiest shape to calculate the collision with like a sphere, I guess, right? Or
Oh yeah, the shapes, the orbs themselves are just spheres, so you can just take the point, and then because a sphere has a certain radius, you just subtract that from the function if you want to, so you know when you cross the threshold.
But so the distortions are also just these Glakesals, like
so
like
the
Glakesals,
the Glakesal algorithm isn't running in the final build. It's just used to generate the when I create this, like it obviously I had to create a level designer game in itself, like so the levels are designed in VR.
Nice.
So you play it, and then Glakesals is used at that point. So you see this point cloud of the shape that you're creating, and then you freeze that into a mesh, which you can then export and do post-processing in like a 3D modeling software like Maya or something, or Blender.
That's really cool.
And then the morphing shape is done through the vertex shader on the material. So I just take like the position of the orb and then put that into a exposed vector variable on the shader on the material, and then that shader uses that, then the proximity to that to morph the surface, and also do the lighting on the surface of the shape.
Really cool. So,
This says a lot. Sorry,
Go ahead.
The math side. I have been looking at data visualization options in Unity, and sometimes you'll find something it's all developed in R, or it's there's a large amount of Python that's already there to create a lot of the same experiences that you're talking about. Do you find that you ran into limitations from the game engine side when trying to work with that? I mean, you found one plugin that helps, but were your options limited from that point of view?
I mean, I think Unity. I don't really know anything other than Unity, so. But I've to do the 3D mesh model and stuff, like all that stuff's done outside of Unity. In terms of, I use Quake Source to the shapes and then freeze them into a mesh, but then those aren't the final meshes. I export them into as I say, like Maya or something, and then use Python to automate Maya to do the retopology or the mesh optimization on the meshes, because obviously you have to be careful about the mesh count, especially on something like the Quest. So I guess that's a limitation I came into with Unity. And then in terms of the shader language, that's been a big learning curve for me, but it's quite versatile, I would say, in Unity.
Did you use URP? Universal Render Pipeline?
No, this uses just the standard pipeline.
The standard. Okay.
Yeah. And I've not used any of Unity's shaders at all, or any of their none of their standard physics or their standard shaders or lighting at all. So I've turned all of that off, and all of the things like reflection probes and shadows, anything at all to do with lighting is like completely switched off. The skybox is off.
Okay.
And that really helps with the Quest as well.
For sure, yeah. Everything that is off basically helps.
Yeah.
And anything relies on you in that case that you really have to find. You have to produce your shader, and that has to cover almost everything in that case.
Yeah. But I guess that also means that, whether it was done in Unity or Unreal probably doesn't make that much difference, I guess, for this game. I've not used much of Unity's features, except insofar as the Oculus integration uses Unity's stuff. So like I use the grabber, for example, the Unity integration with that, which requires like a rigid body and stuff. So some of that stuff is in there.
Yeah. And lots of the physics, obviously, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I mean, those, it reminds me a lot on those metaballs or blobs that we used long time ago for modeling. In the beginning of the 90s with 3D modeling, everyone was asking for how can we do more organic modeling, and then they used the so-called blobs or metaballs. So when you brought two objects near to each other, they started to melt, basically, and that seems exactly to be the same functionality in the end.
Yeah, I heard someone pointed about these at some point recently, and I'd never heard of them, but yeah, it seems...
It's old technology, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, it's pretty cool.
Well, thanks, guys. I'm definitely going to check this out. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Take it easy, everybody.
Hello, Mille.
I fell through again.
Oh,
Is anybody?
It's fine without
Oh, I just fell down. Did you fall down?
Used to fall all the way through the floor. Now they have like a failsafe.
It's time you just found out.
Like, I can't tell.
I reloaded
And you
because I
cannot
fell down
teleport.
before. I guess. No, you haven't fallen yet. It's good.
No.
Oh, there you
Well,
go.
me.
How does someone make shaders as awesome as these?
Beweg dich mal. Los.
Nee.
Doch, doch. Nach links.
Tom,
nach los.
in Cubism, did you use? Did you do? I guess you've formulated all your own physics, especially with all the hand tracking stuff that you've been doing recently.
Also, Melanie,
oh, it's
kommst du mal
Unity
kurz mit
physics,
rüber?
really.
Yeah.
An den-
I'm not doing anything too fancy.
Okay, so you're
I do
using
have my own.
like a box collider kind of thing on the shapes.
Yep. Yeah, basically. I have two. Wait, no. I have one collider that basically changes size depending on its like the context. Like if it's in the shape, then it's shrunken a little bit to make a bit more space when you like place another block. It's a
Yeah.
bit bigger when it's out, so you have a bit more margin. Like there's like a few tricks, but there's nothing too fancy really. And same with the hands. Like there's just the trigger zones on the fingertips basically, and sort of along the finger, and that's how it detects the pieces. It's also why it's like very imperfect. Like if you go fast enough, you can phase through pieces through each other and stuff. But for the gameplay, it doesn't really matter too much. So
Yeah, I mean it helps that you can kind of fit the block between some blocks or something. Otherwise, it would be pretty
right,
tricky.
yeah. Sometimes
Yeah.
cheating physics is a helpful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I guess you were
from
able
a-
to do very precise physics yours, right? Because of you're actually calculating it. That's probably a benefit of doing it with SDF.
I think just in the past, I've done so much with the Unity colliders and had such a pain with them because, because if there's a bug to do with the physics, it's very difficult to debug it because you can't really understand what the colliders are doing exactly under the hood. So I really was able to with this project just